Good morning, folks. I have gone just a bit off the rails since getting back to Thailand. It's actually been 5 nights here now. Bangkok 2 nights, Pattaya 3 nights. The time has flown by, so much so that I thought I'd been here for 4 nights. Can happen too easily when arriving is, for me, starting to smoke too much, which makes me eat a bunch, which I also start to crave caffeine for energy, and then the 3 sort of feed into each other. And, I get tired random moments and I'll just fall asleep for many hours, especially after that long break. Just like my body was not accustomed to any of it. So here I am, 5 days later, feeling bloated as ever. Not feeling my best, but we will start today on a journey to get back to a healthier level. Make some changes in my daily lifestyle here. Get out of the vacation mode mindset that I'm in. I think that's the hardest thing to do sometimes is, pull out of the moment of like vacation feeling, weekend mode feeling, that kind of thing. So I am currently out on the walking path for the condo that I'm staying in. Nice little walking path and, little body of water out here to kind of walk around. That's a plus because it's not super close to the beach. It's nice to have this right here as an alternative since I don't have the motorbike just yet. Just a huge track circle to walk as I reflect on what I've done in this past week. Thankfully, I've still been keeping up with the YouTube quite well. I've been filming a lot, so that's been a top priority. Sort of let everything else slip. Most importantly, I need to get back to my daily routine of when I walk in the morning, it's usually at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And so East Coast US time, it's still the evening, it's still pretty early. And I can do my engaging on Instagram at that time, engaging with new accounts. It's important for me because the way I make money is selling tattoo designs on Instagram. And if I'm not putting in that time every day, I'm not earning money. Even when I was a tattoo artist, I would not get bookings if I was not active on Instagram. Uploading designs every day as well, I've slipped. So, back to the routine. Getting into a good routine in Thailand. Looking for a motorbike, looking for a condo to rent monthly once I can finally afford it. But sort of keeping my eye open for the moment. Once I actually get a motorbike, I can do some better in-person research on that because I do need to be going into multiple buildings, into the leasing office and speaking to them. Needed a day off yesterday. I had done 40,000 steps the day prior, walking around, filming. I had also done 30,000 or more steps in Bangkok. And so I was just pooped. The body was exhausted. Today is not too sunny. It's been kind of hit or miss with the sun, I'd say, since arriving. But the temperatures are pretty cool. So, part of the day getting sun, part of the day not. Just seems to be how it's gone so far. Definitely no rain. But mostly wanted to make this video to just talk about falling off and how easy it can be. I think when coming here, you're surrounded by now weed shops, food, like endless food, and a culture that indulges heavily in food. And in Pattaya, just a culture of, I think, partying and pleasure and enjoyment. And so once you immediately throw yourself into that atmosphere, it can make it even harder, you know. I think for me the biggest thing was just picking up smoking weed again in the morning time, in the daytime, all day, from not doing it at all. And I recently made a video about quitting and my whole experience with going to Bali and being stuck there and quitting for 7 weeks. And I want you to know my intention actually was not to quit permanently. I was more so using it as this long break, and hoping to re-enter using it with a different mindset and a sense of balance. And so since I already recognize after a couple of days, hey, I don't want to use it in this way, I need to make those changes sooner than later so that I can become productive again, and stay healthy. Otherwise it will affect my ability to come up with vlog ideas, get out there and have the energy to make the vlogs and to edit the vlogs and the whole thing. And in all of my other aspects of life, I need to feel good. I need to feel healthy, mentally well, you know. I recall the last time before leaving Thailand for Bali, I had gained a real sense of balance here. Even though I was using weed every day, I was in a good routine, working out hard at the gym. My diet did not stray, you know, really on point with the diet for me is important. So if I can get those things back in order, I think we'll be just fine. You know, maybe get myself a freaking motorbike so I'm not walking, 5-10 kilometers a day. Not that that's a bad thing, but when you have to walk somewhere to get somewhere, it sucks. I think just walking a lot in general is great, but it's a different feeling when you have no choice. It makes it very difficult. And so I think all the other stuff I've been doing and making my body feel kind of weak and losing its power, I think the timing is not good while also having to walk everywhere. Although it's kept me a little bit, if I wasn't walking, I would be a disaster right now. I would be probably so sick to my stomach from the amount of food I've eaten. So, hey, there's some balance for you. I'm gonna walk down to I am going to walk down to Jomtien Soi 7 today, sometime a little bit soon. And I will check this spot again to see if they have any more motorbikes, because it's Sunday now and easily could have gotten something in the last 2 days returned to them. So we'll see. The one there that's 1,000 Thai baht per week for the rental, that's really what I'm shooting for. I need that weekly rental. No daily motorbike rental is worth it. And the ultimate goal, sign a lease 12 months on a condo, something in the 215 to 275 US dollar range, which I have found there's quite a few of them, with the kitchen as well. Even in this building, if I wanted to stay over here, not sure. I think putting my time into my work over this next 1-2 weeks, it's going to help me. It's going to get me back into a better financial position, secure some tattoo bookings / designs being sold, and I'll be in a better position. But for now, we're going to take it day by day, because we're broke and we just fucked off for a couple of days. Now, I was still being frugal relatively. Still though, I can't afford to be spending money on iced Americano. It's only $1 most of the time. In a cafe, maybe it's $2, but that will add up. You're having 2 or 3 a day. That's where it will really add up. And so I don't want that. And I also don't want to be smoking a gram of weed a day, spending $7 a day on that. Between those two things, that's $10 per day, $300 for the month. So that's a full rent payment. And so at the moment, I need to really reel those things in. The food, I don't need to be making myself eat 2 or 3 times the amount either. So reel it in, Ben. Reel it in. This area is fantastic though. I'm quite thrilled to have this little walking path and like this, fairly jungly nature feeling directly next to the condo. Huge plus. Huge plus. Then we have this slightly desolate looking other side here. It's a balance. The air quality feels pretty decent, I will say that. Not bad. Yeah, it's actually quite good. I maybe like it a little bit better walking next to the ocean, but at the same time, it's not bad. There's no burning garbage. We have these little exercise machines. I don't tend to use those. I feel like my goal is always just get in the gym. Maybe it is always better to do something than to not actually work out at all. But for me, it's like, okay, get yourself into the freaking gym. Don't settle for doing some body weight crap on these machines. Let me know in the comments, folks, what is your most difficult vice that you deal with? Would you say it's drinking? Is it eating? Cigarettes or weed? Or maybe something else? Maybe it's just like laziness, not able to work out or something. I want to know because I know most people have them and most people have trouble with all different things. One person might have trouble to actually eat enough, right? And the other person can't control eating too much. Maybe some of you out there have nothing. Maybe you've worked your way toward complete balance, or should I say abstinence. But I don't think that's necessarily the key. I think the key, finding the balance that works for you and doesn't have so many side effects in your daily life. So yeah, let me know. If you're wondering why you never see me drinking alcohol, beer, any alcohol, because I have stopped drinking and no longer drink for over a year now, a bit over a year. For me, it was not for the reason of like being an alcoholic or something like that. It's for a few reasons, primarily because my body just can't handle it. It affects me worse than a lot of the foods that I have issues with. It just converts to sugar in the body, and even more than that, my gut, my stomach doesn't like it. So the more I drink, the more sick I get to my stomach, the more that causes like a full body reaction. So it will give me arthritis pain, it will give me flu symptoms, just like every autoimmune reaction I could have. And so alcohol kills me. And I recognized this years ago, even when I still did drink periodically, and I would just always accept the fact that it's going to really destroy me in a different way. Like maybe recovering for a full week. So it's really bad, and it's contributing to furthering whatever illness, whatever autoimmune issues I have. It was for a long time making that worse and worse, and almost put me where I am today, having to be so strict with my diet and having such intense issues if I'm not, from continuing to drink even every week, every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just binge drinking on those times was enough to cause me several weeks of set me back essentially. So yeah, no alcohol. I've realized now it's better not to consume it at all for me. I can't really get what I want out of it unless I drink quite a bit. And then by that point, it's too much for my body to handle. And so what I used to do, I would always mix it with something, you know. Like I could mix it with prescription drugs and I would be able to drink half the amount or less and get the same effect or more of an effect. So yeah, that's another reason I don't do it, is I would tend to always be mixing it with something else. Because by itself, I was just not able to get drunk easily enough. And it just, it will cause me, that inhibition loss messes with all of the aspects of my life. Everything from my diet, getting to the gym, not doing other drugs. It's, as soon as you take some alcohol, you take a sip of alcohol, those things go out the window a little bit more. So it's just all bad for me. And I kind of realized at one point, okay, at least weed is something that I can ingest without severe repercussion. And so I'm fine with that. Forget the alcohol. And so I gave it up. But it would be awesome to be able to enjoy a beer, 2 beers, go out for a drink socially. I mean, I feel like it's a huge thing to have, especially in Thailand. Such a drinking culture, both locals and like foreigners too, it doesn't matter. I mean, it would just be so convenient. And that's not even going into like with dating, being single and trying to date without drinking, without having alcohol as a focal point of the date, or just being intoxicated to make it a bit easier, to feel more confident and to feel just like loosened up. It's so helpful for that. And even though I didn't use it so regularly ever, still I became accustomed to having something helping me when going out, whether I'm taking a Xanax or or having some alcohol beforehand. I think those times I did go out on a date, it would help. It was almost necessary. And you then realize at some point that you're dependent on that to feel comfortable to do it. So I've lost any dependency like that to socialize, go out, date, just hang out with friends or go party. Now I just do it completely sober, and it's not a problem. Not as fun, and maybe I'm less likely to do it in general, less often. But for me, that's the only way at this point, unfortunately. Surely it would be another thing that I would have some issue with if my body was able to handle alcohol. It would be something that I think I would struggle with more than anything else day to day. So I can look at it as some kind of blessing that, my body can't process it. Same with the foods, I think. At this point, maybe I did just do it so much, abused eating so much and all of the wrong foods and overeating, binge eating, that, now my body just can't handle it anymore. And it's the only natural force against it that will stop me from making the poor decisions of doing that. So that's kind of where everything in my life is at. It's like anything that I do that I know is a negative on my body, it has a effect very quickly that shows itself, that shows, oh, you know, you're not going to be able to continue that. And so that's why I'm living so healthy. That's why I'm eating so strictly. That's why I'm not drinking. That's why I beat myself up for any of these kind of things as well. Sometimes just for enjoying myself, you know, it's because the way that it affects my body is so harsh now. But we will see. After just spending a good amount of time not having any caffeine, having no weed, you know, sticking to no alcohol, and staying really strict with my diet and exercise, I was able to get away with those things a lot more, falling off this time. And, you know, at one point, if I would have ate like I did for these past 5 days, and kind of ignored all the stuff that I know, there's a time in my life where it would have made me bedbound and, you know, mess with my joints so poorly that I wouldn't be able to walk properly right now, my knees, my elbows. And so I have healed my body through carnivore diet and abstaining from caffeine and sugar and alcohol. So I know if I just stick to that for a very long time, you know, maybe spend a good 2 years where I am just being very, very cautious to not slip up at all until my body is strong enough to potentially start reintroducing those things. That's the way forward. I am going to go right now, check out Soy 7, see if they have any motorbikes available. If they do, and I could snag one for a week, you know, I am down to 4,000 baht to my name at the moment. And I only have a place booked right now to stay for 4 more nights. So it's a difficult spot. I decided to just put all of my focus into my Instagram work, my tattoo design business, because the only alternative right now is to get a job locally. If I get an English teaching job, I will not be making money immediately, you know? It's gonna take me over a month to start getting paid, to get my first paycheck, you know? It's too long. Now, I may have to end up doing that as well, but it's not gonna solve my immediate issue of, oh, you need to make money in the next couple days. By the time you see this, you know, it's probably a good week from now, so I will have figured something out. But I am still in this video and my past few videos, the next few videos, I will be asking for some donations, and I will have a link down below pinned in the comments where you can contribute to me. Help me try and raise a little money to pay for a monthly accommodation. You know, if I can book somewhere for 1 month, it will give me enough time to save a little bit of money, sign a 12-month contract for an apartment, a condo, and actually be able to pay the 3 months up front that they need. You know, if I get a $250 condo, I will have to give them up front $750 for the deposit and 2 months rent, or 1 month's rent, 2 deposit. That's the difficult part. Yeah, and the weekly accommodation is over $200. It's like a huge ripoff to what I could pay for a monthly unit. So the quicker I can have some peace of mind of, I'll say, either booking an Airbnb, which costs maybe $450 for a month. That will give me time to save a little bit, to earn and save it. Or if I do end up just raising enough money to, you know, sign a contract right away and pay those 3 months, that'd be awesome. But now that I only have a couple days accommodation booked left here and like no money to book another week, I have to think quick, and I have to you know, see what I can make happen in the next couple of days. I'm even hesitant to rent a motorbike at this point. I wouldn't mind just walking, but the location that I'm in, it's just like a little bit far of a walk to get anywhere. If I find I can still keep up with the content and making enough videos that you guys are enjoying, and I'm not only staying in this area, I can do without a motorbike, just to save some money for a little while, you know. But I'm not sure. If it's gonna really improve the content, you know, which it will, because I can go anywhere in Pattaya, and if I really want to, I can even get out of Pattaya and go to Bangkok with the bike. I'm not sure. Just another little rough patch here. This Bali situation has caused some trouble. This passport situation, you know, I really did not expect it. Things were running very smoothly for me in Thailand, and just in general, financially, health-wise, everything was really, really tight. Yeah, but we're gonna get back there. It's okay. You know, I don't want to speak about it too much on all of my videos, but since it's just the real moment, you know, it's what's happening in my life right now, and it's kind of at the forefront, you know, you're gonna hear a little bit about it. And so I may even do some more videos like topical stuff. You guys seem to enjoy most the videos that I've done about talking about my life and my experiences, much more than like visiting a specific place. You know, my Bali content that did really well, more thousands of views, more engagement, subscribers. It's the stuff talking about even some of the negative experiences I had or difficulties I've had. Those videos just do better, perform better. Videos where I'm going to a specific spot in Bali or a specific thing, sure, some people enjoy seeing those. I think it's good to mix some stuff like that in, but yeah, I think the more personal stuff, the better. So I'm gonna try and keep it to stuff like that while also doing videos showing new areas and showing some interesting things. So not keeping it all one thing. I'm doing what I can with my current situation, with travel, you know, ability to get around, finances, stuff like that. But I'm glad that you enjoy some of the videos that I don't really need to, you know, go to a special place or go too far outside of my area. So if I am bound to my area for a bit, I think I can come up with some good topic ideas still that you folks are going to enjoy. So yeah, maybe some walk and talks here and there, but not every time. And we're back for the third or fourth day now on Soi 7. It's funny, when I was living on Soi 7, I was saying how much I would prefer to stay on a different soy. And now that I'm not living on the street, I'm back to the street every single day. It's funny. But the motorbike place is here, and all of the other stuff is here too. Wow. Hello. How are you? Good. What are you doing? Celebration? What are you celebrating?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Cheers. Nice to meet you. I thought that maybe they're celebrating a birthday or a thing, but I think they're just having a little drink, just having some fun. Today's Sunday, you know, pretty nice day. Again, the sun is not like roaring though, but the temperatures are good. It is quiet over here for now. Very quiet for now. Yeah, it's kind of early. I mean, it's 12:30, 1 o'clock. So not too early, but yeah, it's gonna take a walk down to the beach, and I'm gonna stop in the 2 motorbike spots, see what they have, take a tally on their stock. You know, if they do have one, probably grab it, but not sure. Not sure. Today I'm just gonna be mostly milling around town, you know, gathering myself a bit from these past days, this past week, re-entering Thailand. You know, they are going to want a deposit for a bike for sure. And so I'm gonna have to get around that. I don't have money for a deposit too. You know, I'm gonna offer to leave them my passport. I mean, now I have an old passport, which I don't need to guard, you know, so much. I usually wouldn't give my passport to anybody to hold. But I have 2 now. I have the new one. So I don't mind giving the old one up. See, this is the spot. I don't think that they have any bikes available. It's called Kananang. Usually they would be out here, to be honest. I don't think that they have bikes available. Hey, do you have any bikes for rent still available now? Nothing? Okay. Okay. Said no. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything anyways. That's a shame. And the other spot on this street also, they had nothing. Wow. I will likely end up staying a couple more days without a bike and trying first to sort out my next accommodation. I guess that would be the smart move. I'm just so eager to get a bike, and I've been walking just too much, a little bit too much now. I like walks on the beach walk for sure, but I've honestly walked so much otherwise that I'm not doing a beach walk, maybe for 30 minutes, but yeah. Let's see, they have something set up down here, which I remember seeing the other day, but I didn't ever figure out what it was for. Oh yeah, I think it was for like some competition, right? Championships for like boats. Seems rather hype. Let's see. Check it out. You can hear someone getting very hype in Thai.
Legendary School 1 นะครับผมกำลังเข้ามาแล้วนี่เป็นน้องๆนะครับอนาคตเยาวชนของซับบอร์ด
The Water Sports Festival.
ใจน้องๆกันนะครับผมชายสู้กับผู้ใหญ่นะฮะ
Who's following the legendary one?
So various water sports. To me means kayaking. Looks.
และที่กำลังจะเข้าเส้นชัยคือทีม Legendary One. The last two.
Last 2. Interesting.
The Legendary Two. And
There they go. Okay.
ขอเสียงปรบมือให้นักกีฬาทุกท่านด้วยครับ โอ โอเคนะครับเก่งมากนะครับเก่งมาก
Interesting. I guess that was actually the final
วันนี้ต่อสู้กันมา
contestants in the race.
ด้วยซ้ำไปนะฮะมีทั้งสปรินต์มีทั้ง
the ending points.
แล้วก็มีประเภททีมนะครับผมโอเคครับทุกท่านนะครับที่อยู่บนชายหาดแห่งนี้นะฮะ
Funny, it's like mostly parents and like people related to them taking photos. They're probably like, who's this guy taking photos of us? That's funny. Well, that's cool. May have been cool to actually watch when they're out there on the water racing. Looked like they were standing up and like paddling on each side, while standing. No idea. Maybe somebody else knows a bit better what that is, because I don't know. It looks like a standing kayaking paddle situation to me. The beach is rather busy. As busy as you feel like it could ever be for not really being sunny out. People in Pattaya definitely like to come down to the beach to get sun, to get tan. You'll see a lot of people just kind of standing out, just standing in the sand with their arms up, trying to even out their tan, trying to get tan, trying to get sun. Okay. Well, that's cool. We got to see the very end of the race. It's definitely a nice feeling out here. A lot of people hanging out on the edge, just kind of relaxing on Sunday, Sunday is typically that kind of day. I mean, especially here, especially in Thailand. Sunday is for relaxing, family time, or just with friends. Little alcohol, some beers, This is when it feels like it would be great. I mean, if I could just sit down and have a freaking beer. Sit in the shade, have some beer. It would be too easy on the balcony to just post up on the balcony when the sun's out and smoke and drink as a daily routine. I could see it being a nice daily routine, especially like, I don't know, if I was retired. I mean, there's a certain type of person, I think me being that type of person who enjoys just chilling out, I like to adventure and things, but not so much on a daily basis, on a regular basis. I think I enjoy chilling out. I grew up addicted to video games and just sitting 16 hours in front of a game. And so as much as I won't do that now to that extent, I probably easily could if I let myself. And so the alternative, I think, just kind of hanging out without so much stimulus. Sometimes I'm using YouTube, sometimes it's the TV, but I haven't had a TV with like Netflix, YouTube set up on the TV, like in a little while. It's nice to have, but if I do have it, I don't sit there all day on the TV. But I do think it's a nice thing to have, to not always be on the laptop. I think just like watching YouTube on the laptop, it's fine, but after a certain amount of hours, I don't like sitting in that chair. It's not as comfortable, It's more about the comfort level of having like a sofa or like a nice reclining chair. I don't know how some people just lay in bed on their computer, on their laptop. I mean, my body doesn't allow that either. My back and neck will be in pain so quickly if I try and work from my laptop in bed, or like lay in bed, watch YouTube. Maybe for 5 minutes, sure. Good amount of people out here on Jomtien today. A lot of people. Even a lot of the chairs getting rented. I'd say a lot of families, mixed for sure, local and foreigners. Very mixed. Some of the mix is even, each, it's like a couple, like a foreigner and local couple or mixed family. Start seeing that more out in Jomtien, I would say. You see that more in general in Thailand than you see in Bali. You'll definitely see it in Bali with Indonesian girl and a foreigner guy, but less often than you see in Thailand. I think especially less often in Pattaya. You see it a lot here. Definitely more often an older gentleman with a younger Thai girl. Not always such a difference, but usually there's at least a little bit of a gap there. Nothing wrong with that. I think maybe if the gap is too large, yeah, then it's a little bit strange. But in general, age is just a number, and so I don't put too much thought or emphasis on it. It only stands out if it just does. If you kind of know if it sticks out and it looks a little bit weird or crazy, then I can't help but think about it. But that's just how it goes here, folks. You will see random stuff like this in the parking lot in Thailand. I mean, that is huge. Enormous. Huge. It's like a proper monster truck. It's kind of in this, not abandoned, but it's a quiet, little parking spot. So this whole center in here it's right off of Second Road, and it's full of bars. I mean, more quiet nowadays, I would say. I think it was always rather quiet over here. It's a ganja hub, kind of a chain, but goes all the way back with bars, and then it's like a square, and there's bars all on the inside here. It can get a little bit lively on a weekend, but it's a little bit more contained and chilled out than a lot of the other bar areas. So have the famous Piss Bar. I mean, you see that name a couple times. I think there's multiple piss bars actually, but that name always got me good. A couple of barbers in here. This is the shopping center that has the market where I buy meat and other goods. Hi, how are you? Good? What are you drinking? Fruit? Green tea. And this one? Coffee. Tea. Okay. Okay. Well, have a good day. A lot of salons, barbers in this complex. It's like all barbers and bars. And then you have the market. A few weed stores. I will certainly have to do some videos that are interviewing people and social reaction videos in Thailand. Did 2 of them in Bali. Happy with them. They're pretty good. Talking to strangers in Bali and what do people really think of Bali. Those 2 videos. They did pretty well too. Sorry for the sound. I mean, I don't have a microphone, and so trying to do interviews on the beach with the waves crashing and the wind is just it's hard. So I will get a microphone to do them properly like that. And until then, if I do interviews, I'll be more careful to put the camera close to their face, and I will not do it on the beach. I think here I will get better interviews away from the beach anyways. People are more on the streets and in the party areas than on the actual beach. Yeah, for now I'm gonna get some eggs. Eggs and pork, my go-to. So initially, before they actually legalized weed, there's this clinic, Origine Clinic, and you could get the medical card, and you could get the THC drops. These were pretty weak. They had some effect, but were pretty weak. But what this allowed was, if you did buy cannabis on the black market, and you were at any point caught, even without it, but you got tested and it was in your urine, you know, if they had a positive test for cannabis in your urine, there was a point where that could be used against you in a big way, you know, to bribe you or in a court of law here. And so what I did was, and what other people recommended to do, was to get the medical card, get the THC droppers, you know, use them, but mostly have the medical card as a backup to a reason of why you have fresh THC in your urine. And that was kind of enough for certain cases back when it was completely illegal. So it was a good little loophole, now useless. Now I'm sure their, you know, business doesn't really do so well when it comes to just writing medical prescriptions and selling the oil. To me, the actual medical grade cannabis oil that they had was not all that great at all. Very early in like development of cannabis and cannabis products in Thailand, and so yeah, I mean, I didn't expect much from it, you know, and the potency levels were weak. But yeah, I saw that place every time I'm walking on Second Road, and so always makes me think of it. And what I used to do was I would take a boat from Pattaya to Koh Larn in order to get cannabis. You know, I was more fearful of buying it from random people here, whether people who asked me on the streets or, you know, a taxi driver type situation, where a lot of times it would be legit, yeah, but I was also just always fearful that it would not be, and that they would set me up in some way, especially in Pattaya. So yeah, I felt it was safer to just take a day trip to Koh Larn. People there were pretty authentic about it, and like, I don't know, it was just more widely used and regularly used even back then on the smaller islands. So to me, like, going to an island like that and even asking around, you know, was a better option than buying from randoms on Pattaya Beach. And so that's what I did. And it worked well. You know, I would buy a large amount for very little money and just come back on the boat with it and just use it on my condo balcony. You know, that's what I did. Had my little medical card. But I didn't do it for so long before it became legal. And so, yeah, never had to really worry about that again. And do I think it's a better thing? Yes, because the quality is so much better, and like just makes it that much easier to get it in general and not worry about it. And I've always thought, okay, this is the only thing a place like this is missing. You have the beach, the sun, the cheap living, but just had some weed. And now that it has it, yeah, I think it's more of the complete package in that regard. But does it make it harder for me to just come here and abstain from using it? For sure, you know, I'm going to use it. But there was something nice about Thailand being another country that I could come and not really think too much about overusing weed, because the quality was low, and it was more annoying to get it. So yeah, naturally I would just not use as much. But now it's like the best place for it, and it really makes you want to use it. Well, I got the woman to agree on 1,000 baht per week for a Scoopy bike. However, I did not get the bike because she needs a deposit. There was no getting her to budge on the deposit. I got her down from 2,000 to 1,000 on the deposit, but she's gonna need that. So for now, I'm staying on foot. So I'm confined to the Jomtien area, and if I want to go somewhere else, I will take the bot bus, at least to film, and you know, if I really need to get out of this area. But otherwise, you know, things are always set to change at a moment's notice for me. With sometimes I will make money quickly in a week, and you know, all of a sudden I have a monthly apartment and a motorbike. So just gonna grind in that regard, and do what I can for now. But that's it. I'm gonna chill out at home for a little while, do some vlog editing, do some more laundry. As you can see right now, just washing things in the shower with some soap and drying it like that. That's gonna be my laundry technique for the moment. I have a huge bag of dirty clothes, which is just going to have to stay that way for now. There's no washer in the building, and it just feels like a lot to try and walk with all my laundry and do that for now. And I'm not paying for delivery pickup service just yet. So for now, just how it is. I'm gonna wash my shorts, wash what I need to. Yeah. It is now 6 p.m. Time to enjoy a bit of Gorilla Glue and then cook some pork and eggs. That's the move. Thankfully, pork is not too expensive here. I can eat 2 kilos of pork per day for around $8 US. It's pretty good. So if I eat between 1.5 and 2 per day, there's a fair daily budget for food. It's less than in Bali. It's about half. So happy about that. That's it.